Okay, that's how the eyes should be. Alright, so we don't have the bridge of the nose done yet. And I like the noses to be wider and a little bit of a pungy looking nose. I don't know if I got his nose wide enough, but I went up too far on the one side, so I had to compensate. That's why I did it offline. Sometimes this stuff is much easier to do offline than it is to do it online. I try to do as much of this so that you can see it, but sometimes it doesn't always work that way. Okay, so we're just going to dig this out a little further and have that go down. And alright, there's our nose. So we're going to, the knife I'm using is a knife that I bought at a wood carving show in Frankenmuth a number of years ago. And what you want to do is try to round it up all the way around. Alright, just like so. Alright, the eyebrows are going to come down and around, but we're going to have a little pungy nose. We're going to do it a little bit deeper. Alright, just like so. Alright, so there's our little Santa nose and stuff. Usually I have it scooped out, but I just want it really deep. I want it to be really pronounced, so I'm just doing it this way this time around. Alright, now for the beard or the mustache, we'll put that in first. You notice I'm going up a little higher on the nose. Not exactly flat with the nose, and then we're going to bring this up and around, and this up and around. Alright, let me do it back here where I can see it. I'll be right with you when I get it drawn on here half decent. Alrighty, so we're going to go over here, we're going to go to this edge of the nose here. I'm going to go down a little further. I'm going to do it, actually we're going to round up this nose just a tad. Alright, and take those little corners off. I'm going to round off that little corner. Kind of finish up the nose a little bit. You know, I know people are afraid to carve too much off on a piece. I sure understand that. That's, you know, that's never been not a fear for any carver when they first started taking off too much or going too deep. And in one of my videos I said, you know, it's a great time to experiment if you do make a mistake. You know, if you do make a mistake, there's always, you know, room to fix it somehow. Just as I did up here. I went up too far, I just brought this side up a little further. Okay, so now I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to go straight in and do a stop cut. Okay, and over here the same way, I'm going to bring this down, do a stop cut, and then we're going to go up here where the center is, another stop cut, and meet the bottom part of the mustache. And the same thing over here. Alright, we're going to scoop this out for his mouth. I know this is a little bit too deep yet, but we'll trim this down. I always do the face first because I figure if I mess up on the face, well, I don't have to do the rest of it. That's just my way of doing it. And I like doing everything in one piece. I don't like adding heads. I don't like adding anything to it. I may add a little piece to him at the end, something a little different. But for the most part, I enjoy making everything out of one piece and just with using a knife, as you're seeing I'm doing right now. I will use a little micro V tool to do the hair and stuff and the beard. That has really come in handy, and it's been a lot of fun to be able to do it that way. Alright. Alright. And same thing over here. We're going to just chop that out a little bit. I love doing the faces from the corner. You have so much to work with that. And a lot of neat things. Okay, so there's where we're at right now. I'm going to take it back here for a second, folks, so I can finish it up a little bit faster and a little quicker. And I can see it better. It's kind of hard with that camera being in the way. And all that good stuff. So I'm used to doing it in front of a camera, but it becomes more and more difficult to see it once in a while. So now we pretty well have this done. So what we're going to do is we need to put some cheeks in here and the rest of the beard. Okay, just like so. And come down a little ways and kind of measure it to the same. Now I'm going to get rid of that. Remember, you got to get rid of your rough spots from the bandsaw, or if you use any kind of saw, it's going to come out different if you're not careful. And later on we'll go back when we're almost done with him. We'll keep okay, do I have that right? Yeah. Alright, so it has to be a little bit rounded. I'll re-round it here. So I'm going to put another stop cut for his beard. And we're just going to take that right in, just like so. Nice and deep. Or as deep as you're comfortable with. You know, everybody does things a little bit differently. I'm going to trim that out a little further. We haven't rounded this hat yet either, just the bottom portion. I'm going to do something a little different with the front. I'll get to that a little bit later. But we're just defining the face right now, and it's very hard to match one half to the other. So if yours is just a little bit off or a little bit not exactly the same, it's okay. Don't worry about that. They're never exactly the same. If you go to a mirror, and this is just a challenge, take a piece of paper and cover one half of your face from the nose over, and then look at your eye and then do the other. They don't look the same. It's really creepy when you first do that, but they do look different, and that's okay. You know, they're not supposed to be identical. They will look different. And the first time I read that in a magazine, I thought, oh, that's crazy. But it's true. They aren't the same. They look similar, but they're not the same. So, alright, so I'm just rounding it off. Now later on, I'm going to start rounding off the mustache a little bit more, and I'm going to define this a little bit more, and the corners and such. And we'll get around to that in a little while. Okay, so we've got pretty well his face not done. We still have to do his eyes, which we'll do here in a little bit. And there won't be a lot to it, okay? We'll be back.